all these platforms. I think we should be good, right? Is everyone here? Everyone can hear me? Got to make sure. This is really fun today. This is a great day. Guys, what's up? Will Witt Live, episode 22. And look at this. This is incredible. You guys watching on Instagram can't see, but I'm also, if you're watching on Instagram, you can't see what I'm doing on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and Twitter and everything. But for the Instagram people, whatever, just don't worry about it. But look, for all you guys watching here, look, here's Taylor. You can see Taylor in all his glory. Here's his face. Taylor, say what up.
What up? I feel like it's a little anticlimactic because I've already been seen. If you follow PragerU, you've seen our Office parody and a reel we did recently. But anyway, here I am in all my glory.
There's Taylor, guys. And look, I got a second camera. I got 2 cameras now. How sick is this? I have to do it myself, which kind of sucks. We'll find some intern to do it, I'm sure, soon enough. But look at this. How cool is this? This is awesome. Anyway, guys, it was Will Witt Live. We got a production value up. We got this blackness behind us, some lights. It's super cool. And I got to thank all of you guys for getting me, all the support to continue this podcast, to do it every single week, getting, 100,000 views every single episode where you guys are tuned in and commenting and keeping up with the jokes that Taylor and I are going with. It truly means a lot. And so today we're talking all about the election for the most part. The election is going to be the main focal point of today. Obviously, there's a lot going on with the election, a lot of things that people don't understand. And so the main thing that I kind of wanted to start out going into was the things that people don't understand. I think it's really important for people to understand that this isn't going to be figured out today. This isn't going to be figured out tomorrow. This thing with the election, this is going to take potentially weeks. This could take up until January at the latest. Look, at the DOJ, these people are handling drug cartel cases. They're handling huge cases. And the last thing that these people really want to do is handle Trump coming in and saying that there are thousands of fraudulent votes, even though there are, as we've seen, tons of evidence, even though social media comes on, silences us, takes away the evidence, deletes our videos, or puts, even at the minimum, puts a label on our videos and said this is false information, which they've done to me, and they've deleted my videos too, at the very least. But they're deleting the stuff, and then people are saying there's no voter fraud. There is evidence of voter fraud, and it's going to take a long time to actually handle all this. So basically what the Trump team is going to have to do at this point is hire a ton of lawyers to get this done, and basically like 1,000 lawyers to go through all of these names, all of these records, and make sure that it's all legit. And think about all the money that takes, all the time that takes. Like, they have to do it in, this isn't 2000 where we thought Al Gore won the presidency. This is in one state. That was just a little bit of a difference in Florida. This is within 5 states. We got Pennsylvania, we got Nevada, we got Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia. Some of these other ones. It's just, there are so many votes to go through that this is going to take an extremely long time to actually get done. So I just want everyone to know that this is not something that's going to happen just very quickly, but it'll take a while. And now is the time that it's easy to just say, okay, now we're going to give up, and it's like it's going to take too long or whatever. Let's just go with the results that the mainstream media is saying. But guys, you have to remember that the mainstream media, these aren't the people who decide the election. The mainstream media doesn't decide who wins the presidency, okay? Fox News doesn't decide who wins Arizona before all the votes are counted, right? We know this for sure. And we know that CNN doesn't decide the election, MSNBC, ABC. On actual election night, I don't know how many of you guys actually watched the election coverage. I watched ABC with some friends. We were watching ABC News because the Fox one I couldn't get on YouTube, and some of the other ones I just didn't really want to watch. So we watched ABC, and the ABC one was, just terrible. It's all just horrible things about conservatives. And now these people, come on. You guys have probably seen this, and I've talked about this if you've seen any of the stuff that I've done. But these people come on, and they say they want unity now. They want peace. They want to all come together, and they want to heal the divide in this country. You know what that really means? That really means that they want to control you. It means that they want to silence you on social media. It means that if you don't agree with them, then they don't want unity. They want to destroy you. Basically, what these people want to do is purge this country of people who don't already agree with the leftist agenda, with the leftist dogma. This is what's so crazy about it, is that the left they're the master manipulators in America, because the left is coming on and saying, we want this unity. We all just got to love. We got to all work together. Is that really the truth? I think if that was the truth, then in Los Angeles here, in Santa Monica, and the places where, I live around here, and a lot of other big cities across America, if that was really the truth, then businesses wouldn't still have their windows boarded up, because they know that if something happens with this election and the results actually come out that there was massive voter fraud and states are able to flip, then we're going to see the most massive upheaval of our society I think we've probably ever seen. I'm actually pretty scared to know what is going to happen if the left doesn't get their way in this. Obviously I'm much more happy that we would have conservative principles within the White House and conservative people working, actual conservative people, not fake rhinos, actual conservative people working in this country to help us. But it's really scary to think about what exactly is going to happen with what the left is going to do in this country. You guys know what I mean? Like, what is the left going to do if Trump actually takes this back? It's scary to think. I mean, to think that that Joe Biden he's president-elect now, and then have Trump come on and take that away from him fairly, mind you, because there's voter fraud, and he proves that there's voter fraud in a court of law the right way. And I'm worried. I'm worried about what the left will do to this country, and I'm partly worried for my own safety. I mean, these people are absolutely insane. Who knows what's going to actually happen? Is it live on YouTube and Facebook right now?
We're live. Apparently YouTube's having problems with the stream. It's working for me, but some people in the comments are saying it's not loading for them. So I told them to go to Facebook on your page or PragerU's to watch.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why it's having problems on YouTube right now or on Facebook, because I'm getting text from Cass. That's my girlfriend. She's texting me, and I can't see what it says because I turned off the notification so I don't get distracted. And then I'm guessing that she's saying on there that it's not working. Cass, go to Instagram. It's working on Instagram. If it's not working for you, you can also go to the PragerU or my Facebook page. You can go to the PragerU Periscope page. You can go to my Twitch. And you can also go to the PragerU Instagram. It's live streaming everywhere right now, so you guys can watch this good work right now that's going on.
We mentioned questions about the election, and I knew we'd get censored.
Exactly. You think this is YouTube's doing? Big tech, you know what you're doing.
They're all over us. Like magically, our TikTok has been suppressed for several weeks going into this week, and then magically we're having things break through again, into tens of thousands of views, whereas before we couldn't get any followers, couldn't get anyone seeing any of our stuff. The same stuff that's going for millions of views on Instagram, it just was for some reason being suppressed. So it's been all over the place on PragerU social media. Suppression, especially if we mention anything about voter fraud, if we mention any facts about mail-in voting, can't talk about it.
Well, we put some posts about censorship on Twitter, and they censored the posts about censorship. That's how dictatorial these people are.
Censorship within censorship. It's like Inception.
I know. It's like
How many levels deep can we go?
Yeah. Cenception. How deep can you go in the censorship bubble? It's absolutely insane what these people are doing. If they wanted unity, they wouldn't silence us on social media. If they wanted unity, they wouldn't take a post that Donald Trump put on Instagram today. It was a post. Maybe you guys saw this. Where it was a post where he came on and said, "We support our veterans," something of the ilk, something like that. Where he said, "I support our veterans. Thank you for your service," whatever it might have been. And they said, Trump is not the president. They put a disclaimer underneath this thing about Trump thanking veterans for their service, and they put that disclaimer about him not being the president. It's so stupid. And now my mom's texting me. Mom, what are you texting me about? I knew that this was going to get messed up, but we're trying it anyway. Soon enough, we're going to have people to help us out and do all of this stuff for us. But the censorship is real. Can you text my mom, Taylor, and ask her? Just kidding.
I don't have your mom's phone number.
Good. I'm glad you don't.
Last time I checked.
You deleted it off your phone.
I saved her as someone, Craig.
Yes, Craig, as Pizza Hut on my phone. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now. I don't know if we need to end the stream for YouTube. You could try and do that if it's not going well.
I've still got it.
Taylor still got it. I don't
It's
know what's
working
going
for
on
some people.
with some
so,
of you guys.
Yeah,
We're just gonna keep going. But the people on Instagram, I mean, we got people live on Instagram right now tuned in, which is really good. I don't know about the viewership everywhere else, but for the people on Instagram, I'm sorry, you're gonna be able to hear this, but you're not gonna really be able to watch it. But you can hear it. I turned it up loud so you guys can still hear it. You guys hear on what's it called? On every other platform, you're going to be able to watch Whoopi Goldberg in all of her glory. Let's get into some of the things that she has to say about the election. Don't we all love Whoopi? Whoopi is our girl.
Now, I want to bring something up right now. I want to say to all those people who don't believe that Americans actually got out and voted, let me say this to you. When you know who was elected 4 years ago, Hillary Clinton didn't say, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right, stop the count. She didn't say, this isn't right, I'm not going for it. She didn't say any of that. So all of you, suck it up. Suck it up like we sucked it up. And if you are not sure that you're comfortable with Joe Biden...
Suck it up. She wants us to suck it up. All these people, The View, CNN, ABC, all these leftists, they're the ones who are talking about Russian collusion for the last 4 years. They're talking about Russia collusion for the last 4 years, and then they come on and try and say that we need to suck it up and just deal with it. You know why they're coming on and saying that? Because they know that we're right. They know that there's voter fraud out there. They know how terrible it is out there. If they didn't actually know that there was truth out there, then they wouldn't even be having to say this. They'd just be like, oh, they're a bunch of sore losers, who cares? But they have to come on and try and shame you and say this is what's actually going on. It's really bad. And it's because they know that voter fraud is the truth. They know these things are happening within these states.
Also, she did not suck it up. I'm sorry. Like, the left did not suck it up. Hillary did not suck it up.
Yeah, seriously.
You cried Russia, Russia, Russia for 3 years, and then you had, Hillary writing a book about how it was stolen from her. So don't give me the, suck it up. Like,
Hillary literally talked about Russia stealing the election like a week later. Like, all of them did.
With like $1,000 of Facebook ads.
I know. Like, giving money to big tech and talking about censorship about Russia. And like that like happened immediately afterwards. There was like not even any hesitation to even talk about this. But the difference is that we have actual proof. The Russia stuff, there was no proof. It came out, things got declassified. There was no proof about the Russia stuff. Okay? There's plenty of proof of voter fraud, and that's why big tech has to come on and censor it. Okay? With the Russia stuff, I mean, you had the New York Times, you had Washington Post, you had CNN, ABC, all these different channels. Come on and say, there's this Russia hoax, there's this Russia collusion. And it wasn't proven yet, okay? It was people making assumptions about it. And they would try and present quote-unquote evidence and put these things out there. And you didn't see big tech censoring that. Maybe, if you guys know, tell me. But I can't recall one person who got censored or their tweets taken down or whatever it might be for saying something about unproven claims about the Russia hoax, about the Russian collusion with Trump. Right? I can't remember one person getting taken down for saying that. It only happens when it's a conservative thing going on. When we show evidence of voter fraud, that gets taken down. But when they have false evidence about Russia collusion, which would be false information according to their standards, it doesn't get taken down. It's all hypocrisy. It is all hypocrisy with the left. Let's see what else Whoopi has to say.
Do what we did. Find things and then take it to the law. And if the law says it's something to look at it. But from now on, suck it up.
That's what we're doing. We're taking it to the courts. That's exactly what Trump is doing. He's going to the courts right now and taking it there to get this figured out. He isn't doing it just talking about it on Twitter. I mean, Rudy Giuliani, Kayleigh McEnany. I mean, they're all talking about it. Look, I can show you. Here's what Kayleigh McEnany is talking about right now. We have 234 pages of sworn affidavits under penalty of perjury alleging election irregularities from just one county in Michigan. One county in Michigan. All right? One county in Michigan. And why do these glitches never go? They always go one way, don't they? Eyewitnesses saw a batch of ballots, 60% had same signature. Eyewitness saw ballot batch scanned 5 times. Eyewitnesses saw 50 ballots fed many times in a scanner. Eyewitnesses say January 1st, 1900 was recorded in poll book as date of birth for many not in books so they could count ballots. Fake birthdays so that they can count the ballots. I'm guessing these ballots all went for one person. I can only assume. Eyewitnesses saw 35 ballots counted even though not connected to voter record. And this isn't some conspiracy theorist. This is Kayleigh McEnany, okay? Talking incredibly, she talks incredibly truthfully all the time. She's wonderful. So this isn't like some meme account talking about these things. This This is someone very legit with a very good record talking about this. Eyewitnesses saw poll workers marking ballots with no marks for candidates. Eyewitness saw ballots counted with no signature or postmark. Voters said deceased son was recorded as voting twice. So not even voting once, voting twice. A dead person voting twice. Eyewitnesses saw provisional ballots placed in tabulation boxes. And this just goes on. I mean, passengers drop off more ballots than people in the car. GOP challengers forced to stay away while Dems were not. But I mean, you guys know about the whole thing with them covering up the election place so that poll watchers couldn't go in. They had people with binoculars trying to look at this stuff. I mean, just the level of corruption, the absolute level of corruption with this is never before seen in this country. I mean, at least in recent history, because back in the day, I mean, they did some pretty shady stuff. You guys ever seen the movie Gangs of New York, where they're like shaving people and then making them go in and vote again? Of course, it's like, that's obviously worse. But for the most part, in recent history, there's been nothing worse in terms of the left trying to defraud the American people. Dennis talked about this a little bit last night, but I just want to expound on it in relations to this, that these people go to sleep at night and they feel good about it, you know? Like, you know, people, like, think about maybe when you were a kid or something and you stole from your friend, you stole their Pokemon card or something like that, and, you know, you go to bed that night and you feel really guilty about it. You know you shouldn't have stole their Charizard, but, you know, you just had to because it was lying around. You really wanted it. But then the next day, you know, you feel really bad about it. You feel really, really guilty about it. You know, people do stuff like that. But these people who frauded this election, who put voters that were dead on the voter roll, all of these different things, they do not feel bad about this. They do not feel bad about this because the left has brainwashed them to a degree we've never before seen. They've brainwashed them so heavily that they think that they are taking down Hitler. They think that Trump is the worst person in the world. They think Republicans and conservatives are the worst people in the world. So by them cheating and frauding this election, they think they're actually doing something righteous. They're doing something that is helping America. When in reality, they are doing the exact opposite. They're destroying this country. They're destroying America by coming on and cheating the hardworking American people and cheating the votes that were actually legally sent, the votes that were actually legally processed. So they think that they're doing the right thing for America. They think that they are actually helping America because they're taking down a dictator, they're taking down Hitler, but in reality, all they're doing is defrauding the American people. And what they don't understand is that these people, that's the craziest part, that the left talks about the elites and they talk about rich people and rich white people. That's the party of Republicans, right? Look at the left. Look at the left. They are the party of elites. Joe Biden, I mean, all these people. Sorry, I can't really talk about Joe Biden, 501c3 status, PragerU, but I just get all fired up and then I lose track of what I'm saying. The left. I sound like Dennis Prager. The left. You know the left. But the left, like, they are the party of the elites. They are the party of the rich people. Okay? The left are hand in hand with China. They're hand in hand with big business. They're hand in hand with the unions. These are not the conservatives. This is what the left is doing. We are in a crisis mode right now in America where you are going to see our jobs shipped off to China. They're already being shipped off to China. I think this should be the conservatives' number one priority, is getting jobs back to America. I guarantee this is my number one thing, is that we have to get jobs back to America. And if we have the far left running this country, jobs will never come back to America because the big businesses and their special interests are going to continue to buy off the Democrats, and then they're going to continue to ship our jobs overseas. What we need to do is bring American manufacturing back here, bring jobs back here, because right now in America, I mean, look at social media. Look at what people are doing. Everyone right now, all the men in this country, they graduate from college. They don't have a lot of money. What do you want to do? They want to go be an Uber driver or a Postmates worker. And what do the girls do? Go to your social media and see what's going on there. They get OnlyFans and they're selling their bodies online. I mean, how many people can do that realistically? That's what our country is turning into. It's not turning into a place where you can live out the American dream. You know, think about like 50 years ago, some of you guys who are watching, your generation, they can go and, you know, let's say you graduate from high school and you're like, I'm really good at carpentry. My dad taught me carpentry. I'm going to go and start a carpentry business. And I'm going to go switch that camera. I'm going to go start a carpentry business in my little town, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to get married, have some kids. It's going to be wonderful. You can't do that anymore. Imagine graduating from high school and going to try and start a carpentry business, or go and try and start a tennis racket business. I don't know. I'm just using an example. But you go and try and start something like this. What happens? There's a Home Depot 2 blocks down from you, and it completely destroys your business. You have no chance of even starting up your business because you're just going to get undercut by the huge corporations like that. Or you try and start a pizza place, and then Pizza Hut and Costco and these other places come and undercut your business too, and you can't start a small business. Look, Amazon in the last quarter tripled its profits. $6.3 billion on Amazon in the last quarter. That is absolutely insane. That is an insane amount of money that these people are making. And Jeff Bezos wanted to buy CNN. I mean, this guy's going to be a trillionaire at some point. And they didn't pay any taxes. I mean, these people, these big businesses, listen, I love capitalism, but to think that billionaires have your best interests at heart is just absolutely, I mean, it's just wrong. They don't. These people don't have your best interests at heart. They want control. Where I was going with this essentially is that the left is in the hands, is with these big business. They're with big business, the Democrat, liberal, leftist establishment elite, and big tech, Silicon Valley, are all hand in hand with each other. So when you guys think you're sitting there and you say, all right, it's time to stop fighting. I don't need to fight anymore. Let's just give up. Or, who cares about this? Who cares about politics? Or, I'm scared of what my leftist friends at university are going to do to me. I'm scared of what my leftist friends at university are going to do to me. I'm scared of what my classmates are going to do. I'm scared of what the people I work with. I'm scared of what my family's going to think, my friends. You care right now about what the left thinks about you? Just wait. Just wait in a couple of years what the left will do to you if you don't stand up right now and fight for this. Because if you don't, everything will go away. All the things that you love, all the things that you truly believe in, because leftism and what these leftists plan to do in this country is the biggest threat to American freedom that there has ever been before. And I truly mean that. I truly mean that. The left in this country now, with technology and social media and the way to control people, I mean, the power is so close to being in their hands, and we are going to be the people who are going to stop them from taking this power. Okay? But that only happens if you stay strong, and you stay strong in your convictions. You cannot give up now. You have to share the voter fraud on your social media. You have to share the truth. Share PragerU videos. Get that information out there. Join groups that are doing this. Go out and rally. Actually talk to people about this. Don't stand and stay afraid. You can't stay afraid anymore, because if you stay afraid, this country will be lost. Don't be worried about what the left is going to do to you now. You should be worried about what the left is going to do to you if you don't stand up now. I need some water.
Deep breath.
Deep breath. You want to say anything, Taylor?
I don't know.
Camera's on you.
I'm following all the influx of comments, and
what are the comments
apparently
saying?
YouTube is like just messing up all for everybody right now. Like other people
so
are
it's not just
live,
me?
and it's not just us. But
Okay,
you know,
good.
but yeah, people are saying it's down, and they're watching from India, they're watching from South Africa, Poland. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff, so that's interesting. We got people in Somalia watching.
Somalia?
So,
Listen,
who knew?
I appreciate you guys watching from India, Somalia, South Africa, but this is a fight for America. Okay?
Pray for us.
Pray for us, please. Okay, we need this.
We need more global support.
Yeah, we need more global support. Okay, but this is a fight for America right now. Do you guys like when I switch the cameras like this? Look how cool this is. We had it on before, so you could do like Star Wars. It was like the the
These
slider.
little switcher buttons
I don't
look
know
like
how to-
Star Wars. I wish we could.
I think
show
if
that,
I
but
do auto and then
like a little kid
look
playing
at that.
with new toys.
Look at that. What? Wait. No, that's not it. Why can't I do the one? Look, Star Wars. Look at that. It's Star Wars.
I can't see what you're talking about.
Okay,
for a
you'll
few
see it.
seconds,
Okay, well,
but
you'll see
yeah.
it when it pops up, actually.
People are gonna get sick
Um,
watching this with
I
how
know.
much you're
Sorry.
switching the
Sorry,
camera.
guys. Okay, I'll stop switching it, but I'm going to keep it on the Star Wars setting so you
You
guys
need to
can,
have like a
so you guys can see
pregnant
it.
women warning before you
Yeah,
get on this
epilepsy
ride.
warning.
Yeah.
Before you get on. All right, let's go through. Sorry, I know that was like half the show already where I talked about this
Okay, I saw the Star
election
Wars
stuff.
thing.
Were there any questions about election stuff that people were bringing in that I could talk
There's
about
a few
now?
in I put in the doc here.
All right, let me see what people. Is this the real Will Witt? Yes, it is. Stand up. Message deleted by the Google moderator team.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I actually pulled
Really?
that. Yeah, it was like in italics in the comments of Google. It was like they're like monitoring the live stream as it's happening. And
Yeah.
I don't know what they said, if it was something about voter fraud or what, but
Yeah.
anyway, that was interesting.
Okay, I'm going to answer the Prager Force question of the day. All right, so people live on Instagram watching. We will prevail. Thanks, everyone, for continuing to tune in and giving PragerU your support. We really appreciate it. If you guys don't know what Prager Force is our student ambassador program through PragerU. So if you're, I'm always burping. That's like my catchphrase at this
It's all
point.
those bean dishes.
It's all those
you're
bean
eating.
dish and Chipotle. But Prager Force student ambassador program, people all over the world, young professionals and students, high school, middle school, college age, young professionals. If you want to join Prager Force, text the word Prager Force to 64600. It's a wonderful program. It might change your life, help you get more involved another way for you to stay strong as a person, figuring out what you're supposed to do or what you're supposed to do in your life. Join Prager Force. It's awesome. Let's get into the Prager Force question of the day. This one is from Rojo Valmore. I think it's how you say it here. Maybe it's Rojo, but I think it's Spanish. Rojo, right? Is that red? Rojo's red, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought that was obvious.
I don't remember. I'm trying to remember.
How many levels of Spanish did you take in high school? Did you make
I
it through
took
high
like
school?
3 levels of Spanish in high school.
Okay. Muy bien.
Gracias. Gracias. I know a little Spanish.
People like you who eat Chipotle and have no
Yeah.
concept of any Spanish are
Yeah.
the problem in this country.
People like you who eat Panda Express and can't can't speak Chinese are destroying this country.
Exactly.
Rojo Valmore said, "Once the election is over, how can we unite as Americans? We are by far divided from the left, even though it's them that are shifting further away. What is your message of unity and peace? I miss the America I grew up in." There's a couple things to this. Talking about the America that you grew up in, I miss the America I grew up in as well, but that's because, I was a kid. I liked being a kid and playing Pokemon and hanging out with my family, but, I didn't really think too much about politics. So I guess I missed that too, and at that point in my life, I don't know how divided America was. I'm sure it was still pretty divided, but maybe not as much as it is now, at least when I talk to people. In terms of what to do about this, it's really, I don't know. Conservatives are coy a lot of the time. We're shy and we give in to what the left wants us to do, which I'm kind of done with. As I tell you guys this every single time. I'm pretty done with that. So these people have been calling us horrible names, horrible things. I get death threats. My girlfriend gets horrible messages. My family, I haven't said anything to my family yet, but, I'm sure if they knew who my family, because I don't post my family anything, I'm sure they'd say horrible things to them. I'm just getting the worst and most disgusting messages I've ever gotten in my life. And then these people expect unity. You want unity with me after you called me, all the worst things in the world? What the hell does that mean? You can't get unity from me now just because you think that you won. That's not how this works. If you really want unity, then you'll say, look, I know that this is over. I just want to live my life and we can all be chill, not focus on the bad things.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro made a great point to that the other day. He said if the left really wanted unity, they would work on calling out their own side and the excesses on their own side where people are, doing the wrong things. People are rioting, looting, burning, having double standards, being hypocrites. If you want unity, call out your own side, and then that's a olive branch to the other side.
The left is too scared to call out their own side, though. They're way too scared. If you call out the left, then they destroy you. So it's either you align with the left 100% on everything that they do, or if you call them out for one little thing, then you're not woke enough. It's like I didn't include this on the podcast today, but it was the thing that you put in the sheet where I was the Black Lives Matter thing.
The letter that they wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wrote, Black Lives Matter wrote a message to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and we're basically do what we say. Or,
yeah, it was the black vote is what got you elected, and you need us to tell you how to fix all the racial problems in America. Don't assume you can do it on your own. And then there's schedule a meeting with us at your earliest convenience so we can teach you how to, fix the racial problems in America. It's so condescending.
I know, so condescending. And it's but if you don't do that, if he doesn't go and meet with them, then he's a horrible racist and hates black people. So it's even someone as far left as Biden, who's in that situation, now has to appease these people. So these people, of course it's good that you should call out the left. I call out conservatives all the time. I mean, look, when this whole thing started going down with voter fraud after the election, there were a lot of conservatives out there who didn't speak up. A lot of conservatives who didn't say anything, rhinos, people who were weak, people who didn't want the left to come after them for saying something about voter fraud, right? They wanted to keep their own position secure, or they didn't want to lose any money, whatever it might have been. They didn't say anything. A lot of these people didn't say anything, and we keep track of them. We know who these people are who didn't say anything, right? And so a lot of people worked on calling these people out. I was one of them. I called some of these people out on my social media for not coming on and saying something. So conservatives, I think, have a lot better time of actually calling out bad people or bad actions, bad actors in our group, instead of the left, who do not call people out. They just continue to get. This is why the left gets more and more radical, because they won't call out the radical people. They just let it continue to go on and on. Nothing ever actually gets fixed and nothing gets changed, because the left just keeps getting more and more radical. No one will call it out, but I don't think conservatives do that. Yeah. But conservatives needed a wake-up call. I mean, that's why Trump why he won, because he was so strong and adamant. This is of 2016. I mean, he was so strong and adamant about things that conservatives just didn't talk about before, or didn't actually have any action on. They might have said things, but they didn't actually do anything about it. And this is why Trump won. So in terms of unity in this country, it's going to take the left actually doing something to want to come together with us.
Yeah. It's like Jordan Peterson says, set your own house in order before you go criticize the world. It's like, no one's going to take you seriously if your life is a wreck, and then you're telling them how to fix their life. The same way, if you're if your political, those who share your political ideology are, completely, hypocrites, or, you're never willing to call them out when they go too far, when they burn, when they riot, when they loot, things like that. How do you expect the rest of the country to ever take you seriously? And the same's true on the right side. Like, we can't let ourselves go into conspiracy theory territory. We can't go too far, when we don't have facts to support what we want to say, but if the left, refuses to substantiate what they're doing, we have to maintain our credibility.
Right. I totally agree, Taylor.
Thank you.
Taylor, that was great. That was really good. You guys like seeing Taylor now? You guys like it when I switch the camera to Taylor? It's fun.
I feel like people are getting sick with how quickly you're switching this.
I'm not switching it too fast. People on Instagram, I'm sorry, you can't see me switching it. If you go to YouTube or you go to Facebook, you can watch the switcher. It's Star Wars. It's literally Star Wars. But the people who are watching online, I hope this isn't too fast. I'm trying to go slow. That's why I switch it to the Star Wars one. Okay, guys, let's go into this brown girl video.
Without context, that sounds so
without context,
crazy.
Yeah, I know. No context needed, okay?
Yeah.
I'm calling it brown girl video because the poem is called Brown Girl. I'm not making it up. It's called Brown Girl, Brown Girl. Okay? Imagine no context on that. But it's a teacher with a poem at her school, and then she's going over this poem with the students. So I just want to show you guys what the poem is, and you guys can tell me what you think about her poem.
Brown girl, what do you see?
I see a vice president that looks like me.
Brown girl, what do you do?
I thought, I hope, I spoke what was true.
Can you imagine, like, you go to, I don't know, where's a very white area, Taylor?
Oklahoma.
You go to Oklahoma, there's some, like, I don't know, all boys Catholic school. I don't know. And then they have Trump actually wins the presidency, and they go, white man.
That's crazy.
How do you feel? And they're like, now we have a president who looks like me. That would be like KKK level stuff.
Yeah.
But when it's a brown girl, then it's always totally fine. It's only different when it's someone who's not a straight white guy, or actually just not white. Anytime it's someone who's not white, then it's totally fine.
Brown girl, what do you know?
That strong
Brown girl, what do you feel?
Black, #black girl magic. I want some black girl magic.
I mean, that's a good thing, but yeah, the way that they're construing it, it's a little scary. But keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Have you watched this whole video?
Brown girl, what do you see?
A world that sees my skin before it sees me.
Okay. You see that line? That is a very bad line. That is not a good line whatsoever. What this is being taught to what is being taught to children through poems like this, through this video getting, millions of views, I believe. I can't see the view count on here. Whatever, it's probably a lot of views. Can you see?
It's 150,000 views, but the point is that it's happening in schools. Like, that's
Right.
okay.
Right.
And they're celebrating that.
Right.
The left is celebrating that.
But they're celebrating. I'm all for, if these people want to celebrate Kamala Harris being this, they like Democrat politicians, they want to celebrate Kamala Harris being the quote unquote vice president elect, even though it's not going to happen. It's going to be. Anyway, even though that's what they're saying, they're making it all about her skin color, and they're making it all about her gender, when that is not what it should be about. If you have good policies, then that's what someone should be celebrating. You shouldn't just be celebrating someone because they look like you. There are lots of people who look like me. I look like, generic Sims character for the straight white guy, and there are a lot of people who look like that, and there are a lot of people like that who are pretty bad people. I don't care if you look like me. If you look like me, it means nothing to me. If you act like me, that means a lot more, because you're obviously super cool. If you act like me, you're probably a great person. But what you do, or your policies, or the things that you believe in, mean 1,000 times more than if you're black or Indian or a woman, or how you actually got to that position that you're in now. It means a lot more what your actual policies are. You watch this whole video? Should we play some more?
Yeah, play the next line.
Brown girl, what you gonna do?
March fight and create a make this world.
Brown girl, what are you going to do? We're going to make this Soviet Russia. It's going to be great. It's going to be the greatest country. Yeah, this sounds like communism.
Yeah, they're fighting for a revolution. That's what they're indoctrinating them to do.
And I don't want to sound like some boomer Republican coming on and saying, oh, these little kids talking about, they're happy, they're going to march and fight, it's meaningless, like whatever. I don't want to sound like some boomer coming on and talking about that. Okay, I get that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But these things start at a very young age, and it's indoctrination, okay? It doesn't start out with saying, you need to start a communist revolution, little children. Like, they don't do that. Of course they don't do that. They don't even know what 2 + 2 is at this point, basically. Maybe they know that. You know what I'm trying to say? That they don't start out with super hardcore facts or super hardcore, like, battle-ready plans to equip these children. It starts with small things. It starts with saying, we want to march and fight and create a world that is totally brand new, which means to these kids, it sounds like a really good thing, but in reality, what you're telling these kids is that the world is not good now. You're telling them that America is not a good place to live. And especially, a lot of these kids are, what's it called? A lot of these kids are African American, and so they think that because they're African American, the world isn't a good place, and they found some woman who's going to come on and make the world anew for them, which is a terrible way to think. It's a terrible way to think, because these students should be taught to love America, not that America should be transformed. America is the most wonderful place in the world, where these kids have the ability to have their classroom and this poem recorded and put onto social media for millions of people to see. That doesn't happen in a vast amount of countries across the world, where there are free speech laws and regulations, or places where there isn't even any speech really to begin with, right? So for them to have the ability to do something like this just shows how free they are. Of course, there are problems in America that need to be addressed, and a lot of them have to do with things within the government, have to do with big business, all sorts of different things. But that doesn't mean that you should be wanting to create a new country. You should be wanting to just make your country better. There's a big difference there, and I don't think that these leftists totally understand that. This is what I was talking about. I've talked about this a little while ago, but that as leftism becomes a religion, Christianity as a religion, you view Jesus as a Messiah, right? Jesus came, he was a savior, he died for our sins. That's what we believe, right? But in this religion of leftism, Jesus is not the Messiah, Jesus is not the savior. We are the savior. We are the savior. It's messianic. It's like we are the new Messiah. We are the ones who have to come and save the earth. And now, like, you see something like this, you're telling these children and this teacher, they're saying, you are the one to come and save the planet. You are the one to come and save the earth. You are the one to make an entirely new country. You know, it's very arrogant in a lot of ways to come and say that you have this kind of power. At least that's how it feels to me. Of course, you can make changes in the world. You can make changes in your community. But again, when you are saying that you're going to create the world anew, I mean, it sounds like Senator Palpatine execute Order 666. You know what I mean? It's scary stuff. It's strange.
Yeah.
You know?
And notice the order that they first, it's like said, giving them this like racialized worldview. Here's the problem. You know, there's not this perfectly equitable distribution of, you know, people in every possible position you can think of. Notice they only ever pick like the prominent positions that they want the perfect distribution in. But anyway, so it starts with this like, oh, here's the utopian vision. Here's how things should be. And it's not like that. But, you know, now what you need to do is fight the power and have a revolution. Like, that's just classic leftism, you know, like things don't match the utopia. So now we need to seize government, take the power, and then force utopia on things. Whereas conservatism is all about, like, we believe in fundamental principles that when people follow them, no matter what race you are, no matter what, you know, creed that you have, if you follow wisdom and, you know, eternal Judeo-Christian values, you'll be successful, you'll be productive, you know, you'll have a good family and a good life, you know. And it's so, some of this stuff, it's so deceptive and easy to like get brainwashed with, whereas I feel like conservative values sometimes are a little bit more elusive, but you know, the difference couldn't be more stark.
If we made this poem, what would you say? You'd say what color is the
This is going to be tough to come up with live.
Yeah. I could freestyle.
Just read some like Psalms or something.
Go Taylor.
You do not want to hear me try to freestyle.
I do want to hear you try to freestyle. You know,
Give the
you
people
spit
what
bars.
they want. You're the one with the backwards hat, the Vanilla Ice look going on.
That's true.
So,
I am
with the chain hanging low.
I could make a poem. Person of every color. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna vote.
This is like bombing as bad as your Lord of the Rings quiz.
Whatever. This is dumb. I don't care. All right, is that all the main stuff in that to watch?
I think yeah. You don't want to go further. It's just like their commentary and saying how great it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it was pretty great. It was very good. All right, let's get into some of you guys' questions today. I hope you guys have been dropping questions in the
chat.
Will Witt, what do you see? I see Taylor peeking at me.
Oh God.
Every
It's
night.
creepy. At least I'm not sniffing.
That was funny. All right, let's see. Some of the questions. You had some of the questions in here? Yeah, but you guys can drop your questions in here.
Yeah,
if you're on Facebook, YouTube, whatever.
We got questions.
Yeah, and PragerU is on Parler. If you guys aren't on Parler, I'm also on Parler at the Will Witt, and also Prager University. You can follow both of us on there because social media sucks. So, let's see. Sabrina said, burping through our Prager Force plug. Yeah, I am. It was, Nick Baldessano said, what are your thoughts on the AOC Trump supporter list? That list is psycho. Anyone who thinks that that's a good idea is a crazy person. The AOC list saying, if you guys didn't understand, basically AOC came out with a tweet that got, millions of impressions. Millions of people saw this thing that basically said, who's keeping track of all these people who are complicit in supporting Trump and supporting these values? You know, we should make a list of these people. That's the main gist of it. That's not verbatim. Don't quote me on it, but that's basically what she said. And then some other people replied that they're starting a Trump accountability project. I think that was what it's called, right? Trump accountability project.
I don't know. I missed
something like Trump accountability projects is similar to what it is, right? Trump accountability project, and basically it's coming on and saying we're going to keep track of your name, of your address, of who you voted for, and that if you voted for Trump or are conservative or were complicit in this whole campaign, then we are going to basically have that information out there that anyone can see. Now, of course, you can go right now, you can go find your neighbor and you can find out who they voted for. A lot of that stuff is public information. You can see who they donated to. That stuff is public information. But it's a lot different when it's not just some public database. The way that these leftists, they're wielding it like a tool to shame people, like a weapon that they can use to shame and hurt people, that they can say, all right, I'm an employer, I work at XYZ business, and now I can go on I can go on this site and I can find out if this person voted for Trump, and then I'm not going to give them the job. And they're using it to say, like, business owners, you should look at this. And if you start hiring people who voted for Trump, we're going to cancel you. Because now you have no excuse to not hire people who voted for Trump because it's online and you can look it up. It's right there, right? It's a disgusting, horrible thing, and it's actually insane. I mean, it's insane. Is there another word for it? I mean, I think insane is really the best word that you could say. I know we're not supposed to say.
Even though that's not politically correct anymore.
We're not allowed to say insane anymore, which is insane.
If you don't get that joke, go to PragerU's Instagram. We did a funny little skit on it yesterday.
We did a reel about it yesterday. You guys should go check it out. But yeah, it's incredibly weird, wicked. Just wait. Just one day. One day, the left will not be in control of the culture. One day, I believe that conservatives can take back the culture and be in charge. And these leftists, I mean, they're not going to be too happy when it shifts. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much right now. Will, please explain Parler to followers. Parler is a social media app that you can go on that is not diminishing your ability to speak freely. So it's a great app. I'm on there. I haven't really posted too much on there. I've kind of been a little lazy about my Parler. So sorry about that, guys. If you wanted to see me parlay, haven't been parlaying.
But PragerU is crushing it. The
PragerU
PragerU social media team, of which I am part, is crushing it on Parler. We've grown I think by 500,000 in the last week, which is insane. So you're missing out.
I am trying to miss in.
It's like you didn't buy the stock before it went up.
If I could go back 10 years from now.
Get on Parler now, guys. The stock is hot.
Yeah, get on Parler. It's hot. I can't even. Gotta toss it away. It's so hot. Hot potato. It's hot. Hot, baby.
I'm just gonna toss that back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what Parler is. So, this guy just called me based. Yeah, that's right. I'm based. Pale Craig. You guys know Pale Craig. Pale Craig didn't even know what based meant today. He didn't know what based meant. Well, also Cass, my girlfriend, didn't know what based meant either. So that was pretty unbased of her. I almost had to.
I'm seeing the Star Wars swipes. I'm getting distracted. Those are great.
I know, it's so good, huh?
Yeah.
It's great.
Those sweeps. But based is, you got to keep up with the Gen Z lingo because, we don't want to be a boomer podcast.
What does based mean to you?
Based is when you prepare a turkey for Thanksgiving. No, based, B-A-S-E-D. It's what the kids say these days when they are talking about something makes sense to them. It's correct. Another, you might also say no cap, no lie. Got to be like
Can you sound
translation.
Any more
white.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Based. I know what based means.
You just said it in almost the worst way possible.
It means like you're correct. You're justified in what you're saying.
You started out by saying, this is what the kids are saying.
It is what the kids are saying.
And then you say the kids are also saying no cap.
They are.
You just sounded like you're 80 years old.
I think
you sound like my grandpa just explained.
You're just tired of taking it and you're reaching for something to hit me back with, and it's just not happening right now.
I am based.
This is not a based attack on me.
I am based. Everyone, here's the deal. All right, you guys got a challenge now. Whether you're watching this on social media, whether you're watching it Instagram, whatever you're watching this on, I hope that you go on my page on @WillWitt on my Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and you comment based. Okay? Will Witt is based. And you can also say for bonus points, you can say Craig is not based. And that would mean a lot to me. So just so you guys know, this will mean a lot if you do this for me. Okay? Will Witt is totally based. Thank you. Will Witt is based. People on here were asking who I am. You don't know who I am after 3 years of being on the PragerU Instagram? It's okay. I'm Will Witt. I work with PragerU. I'm the head intern here. I've been interning. I'm a professional intern, actually. Been professionally interning for the last 3 years.
We're all wondering what he's still doing, coming here every day. But,
I just turn the camera on and start going for it.
And nobody stops him. I don't know what the deal is.
You can't stop me. I can't be managed. Okay. America, what do you see? We see China coming after me. That's very true. That's a good poem. Thank you, Beck. Julia said, Will Witt is based and Craig is not. It's true. It's very true. Nikki Stevens said, I was adopted from Russia when I was a year old. I love the USA and really wish some people who were born here would also love it. I see lots who are born here that don't. Makes no sense to me. God bless the USA. Thank you, Nikki, my Russian friend, my comrade. I appreciate you. Yes, there are many people within this country who don't love this country as they should. I went to a march. It was called the March for Our Rights. It was after the shootings. And there are people with signs that have a big red X over the Second Amendment. People who don't want the First Amendment anymore. People who hate this country. They don't appreciate this country. They hate this country. So if they tell you that they love this country, the majority of these people don't. If they actually love this country, they wouldn't be trying to radically transform it. So for you to come in and be Russian and now live here and appreciate this country, it means the world. It means so much because you're not a privileged idiot like so many of these people who live here. They don't know how good they have it. I wish they would go live in Russia. They should go live in Russia and then see how much they like it. Let's see.
They're saying we need to chill out on the negative boomer comments because they're the ones that are really funding PragerU. But we're not attacking boomers, guys. That's like
guys, we're not attacking.
It's
boomers.
what kids say these days to say. There I go again.
There you go again.
But to say like, oh, you said something that sounds kind of old, but it's not really like an insult. So we love the boomers. We're
we
very
love
grateful.
the boomers.
Is that the greatest generation, or that was the generation before the boomers? That was the boomers' parents.
Well,
we're celebrating to them
my
today. Shout out to the
generation's
veterans.
Greatest generation.
Did you shout out the veterans today yet?
Not on here.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, Veterans Day. I even wore a shirt. I have my jacket on, but I wore a shirt in support of veterans today. Thank you to all of our veterans. People don't know the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. There's a difference. Veterans Day is for the veterans who fought and served and are still alive, and Memorial Day is for memorializing the soldiers who died. You know, soldiers in World War II, World War I, Civil War, Mexican-American War, all sorts of wars. We memorialize them on Memorial Day. The veterans now are for people who have fought and are still alive. So, guys, remember that difference. It's very important. But thank you to all of the veterans who serve this country, who keep us safe, who give those privileged people the right to be so privileged and woke all the time. It's because of you guys that they are able to do that. So thank you, veterans. Happy Veterans Day. And that's where we're going to end the stream today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Really glad that I was able to answer a lot of you guys' questions. And I think the beginning of this live, I would hope that you guys would really share this with a lot of people, because at the beginning of this live, we really went off on a lot of the stuff going on. And I think it's very important that people wake up and understand what's happening and get some perspective. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching. This has been Will Witt with PragerU, Taylor, and me. And remember, Apple Podcasts, rate this 5 stars. It means a lot to us. It helps us reach more people with the podcast. And tune in next week, except next week we won't actually have a show. Next week we won't have a show because we have a company vacation.
I was just finding this out now. That's great.
You didn't know that?
I don't know. I don't
We have
look
a
at things
company
that far in
picnic.
advance.
Yeah, we have a company like picnic. It's our Christmas party.
Right on.
So,
well, there we go.
Yeah. So, sorry guys, we'll be celebrating Christmas in the middle of November.
Maybe
So-
we can go live for a few minutes at the Christmas party.
Yeah, maybe
and
we'll
show
go live
everyone
with the Christmas party. You guys can meet some of the staff, see what I cooked up.
See
It'll
a
be a good time.
See a based turkey.
Yeah, see a basted turkey.
Basted
Based.
turkey.
Based
that-
turkey. It's going to have I don't know, America First written on it or something. Groiper turkey. All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.